I can just sit back and laugh and watch. But for a man who has filed bankruptcy twice, it just gets to me. And at one point in my life, I'm like, maybe I need to do that. But something in my spirit said no. Something said you can fight. Something says you have opportunity. And you're going to make it right. And thank God that I didn't. And this is no slight for folk who have filed for bankruptcy. But some people do it because they really have to do it. Some people do it because of convenience. And some people do it because they just don't know how to balance no checkbook. First of all, I wouldn't trust my left shoe with that individual because he's proven time and time again to be irresponsible. Cookie Monster brought up them foster kids. And again, I know people hate us talking about this, but again, you all, this is something that played out. And the person who thinks he's so intelligent and so smart really does stupid stuff. And then I kind of wonder, really? Because you had those children on camera sometimes, at least after they gotten grown. Let me put it that way. You talked about them. What you said to those kids were a hot mess. It seems like you weren't there to really help them, but you were there to get money from them, meaning that you got the most difficult children because the most difficult children will garner you a reward, a cash reward. And you treated those kids like dirt for the most part. And we heard you. This is nothing that is gossip. This is stuff that we heard. We heard you call them names. We heard you curse them out. We heard this. That's number one. Number two, even the one that aged out of the system, yeah, he was grown, but you used him like a pimp uses a hooker. You let that man go to Vegas, and we had a woman to come right on my show and admit her relationship with that man. Your ex foster child are using them to make profit. That's all you've done. That's all you've done. You don't care about these folk. You care about these folk just to make profit. That's it. Like this Patreon thing. Using other people's content just to make profit. Using other people's stuff. And that's what you do. You can't rap. We saw that monstrosity and that epic fail sounding very remedial as you do it. You have no music inclination. You are not attractive at all. And here I am, not even in my best shape at 51, with gray hair and still look younger than you. You are using her ideal with Club Chat. It just dawned on me that's exactly what you're doing. But yet, you've taken it a step farther and you are making money and selling popcorn and all of these things. That's what you're doing. So Cookie Monster, have you right. Cookie Monster, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. And it's really interesting that you want to tear down everybody else, but your stuff is real. Not to mention your whole man's sister is living with you. Your stuff is real. Not to mention your whole man's sister is living with you. And it seems like Cynthia spends more time with you than your own man, if you still have the man. It's hilarious. And then when we see how you reel people in with a false sense of security to act like you really like them, but then you do them like you do Miss Pam or Lady Nika. Because that's how you do people. You ain't loyal. You don't care about anybody else. That's why I told that foster lady she need to be careful. That's why I told Tracy she need to be careful. Because I know your type. I know your type. I said, Tracy, don't go over there and mess with that man. I said, Tracy, All he's doing is trying to spite me. He really don't care for me, and that's all he wants to do. But I said, if you feel like you want to do it, do it. And look now, because that's how you do. That's the person you are. Can't really say anything about me, because at the end of the day, you can't go to public records and see that I had 2 bankruptcies. You won't find them. You won't find foreclosure on my record. You won't find it. You won't find repossession on my record. You won't find that I have a license revoked. So if I want to get foster children, I can get them tomorrow. Because number one, I have a steady job in a safe house to raise them in. We don't have hazardous living conditions. We don't have water damage in the ceiling. We don't have Annabelle addicts. Okay, Rob. Okay, it ain't no shining house over here. But all I'm saying is, again, you try to boost this up. And Rita said it quite perfectly when she said, you try to boost yourself up, knowing that you struggle. And I think it's really interesting. I think it's very interesting. No. Cookie Monster, you said something today that stirred my spirit when it comes to 1862, aka Trout Mouth. And you said that he takes other people's property and put it on Patreon and charge those misguided women over there all of this money. But yet, Cookie Monster, this is the same person who says that he wants to flag Rita's page because Rita is using those Patreons to really bring to light what you really are so cowardly doing on Patreon that you're not bold enough and man enough to do on your own page. That's all I'm talking about, Cookie Monster. I'm just agreeing with you on today. And Cookie Monster, there's a lot of things. Oh, you gonna come back? Oh, come on back. It's a lot of things. And see, people tried to say, oh, y'all trying to break Cookie Monster and Foster Lady, aka Fabe Bond. But see, what people don't realize is this is what Sean said out of his mouth. It had nothing to do with Fabe. It's really what Sean said. So, are you going to stay with Sean and be moving funny, Fabe, or you just going to be cool with Cookie Monster? Because it seems to me that Cookie Monster, this ain't even, it seems like your buddy or your friend or whatever y'all want to call each other these days, he has run his mouth. Not only about Cookie Monster, but he's run his mouth about you. And at least, if I'm going to talk about you, I'm going to talk about you right on the platform. I don't have to go to Patreon and make money off of folk to do so. And girl, I don't care how you try to spin this, sis. You look like a whole fool. You the one shaking your giblet down there at the Vegas Strip. While they doing this, at the shame of you. You can say whatever you want about me, sis, because you talk about loyalty, but I see you loyal to the wrong folk.